Hey guys, Hembles here, and today on Hembles Mumbles, we're going to be playing some more Dota Underlords. Today I think I'm going to focus a bit more on explaining some of the basic strategies for you guys. I know my first two videos kind of ignored a lot of that and just jumped right into gameplay, but since this is a new game, I think it would be a good idea to talk through some of the strategy a little bit more. So we're gonna do that, and we're gonna have a good time. We are jumping into multiplayer here. For some reason, we don't have our players connecting to us yet. That's some nice beta gameplay. But here we are. For the most part, this has been very stable for such a new game. I haven't had too many bugs happening. But right away, we're going to jump into the game and are immediately introduced to a selection of heroes right here. I am going to take one and put him in. So this game is a auto attacker is one word for it. It's kind of a drafting game as well, as you can select heroes from a pool. You are going to have a few different resources that you can use to generate a strong board. That's going to go against your opponent's boards and decide who is the strongest Underlord. Among these drafts are a few different tribes, which I will get into. But first, these first couple waves are against kind of non-player characters. And winning them gives you an item. And I'm just going to select one again there. So part of these tribes that I'm talking about, when you get minions or heroes here that have the same tribe and you fulfill some sort of condition, you get a buff. So right now I have two warriors here, which is the blue shield icon here. And warriors are generally very good tanks. They're one of two good tank classes or tribes in the game. And when you have three, all of your warriors gain plus 10 armor. 6, they get 15, and 9, they get 25. So as you see, there's generally a few different tiers of the tribes that get stronger per multiple of unique heroes you have that tribe. So we're going to avoid the strange bedfellows. Don't take it. I'm just saying that to myself because I seem to be taking it every single game. But we're just going to take that. And we get rewarded with a pretty good shop. Another facet of this game is that you do get to combine heroes. So as you saw, I had previously gotten two tusks, which is this character here. One of them was on my board, one of them was on my bench, and I was offered a third one. When I took that, it immediately combined all three of them into a 2-star tusk, which typically has, about twice the health, twice the damage. So you're just getting kind of a denser board. Since I'm limited to having 3 heroes, the stronger I can make in each of those individual heroes, the stronger my board gets. So that's good. And we already have those 3 warriors, so not only do I have a 2-star, but we also get a buff making everybody a bit tankier. We also get a pretty good item here with the blade mail. I'm going to put that on the tusk since he's going to be sticking around for longer typically. And we're going to go from there. So we just finished our 3rd round against those non-player creeps. And we are going to start transitioning into fighting player characters.
Hi, I'm Lirelai, and I'm going to kill a whole lot of people for you.
So, obviously, we talked about the heroes. You want to buy your heroes. But how do you buy heroes? You do that with gold. And gold is another, probably actually one of the biggest resources in this game, apart from your board space, so the amount of people you can have on the board, and your bench space, the amount of heroes you can hold on your bench. Gold is what lets you buy characters. It's what lets you re-roll your selection of characters to find characters that you want. And it's what lets you level up faster, so that you can find higher tier heroes, as well as each level up allows one more space on the board for your heroes, so that you can have more heroes, unlock more synergies, as typically you want to combine more than one synergy into your end game board. So those are all good things. As you saw, I picked up a hunter here with the Wind Ranger. One of these strategies with warriors is hunters, and the drow is going to be a nice way to get there. I'm going to put the Wind Ranger in first because she is a stronger hunter than the drow. The drow doesn't deal a lot of damage herself. What she does, and I guess a nice transition into abilities. Drow's ability here, so each hero has an ability. Drow's is a passive, so it's something that she doesn't cast, it just happens all the time around her. It's an aura that she puts down to anything that's standing next to her that causes them to attack faster. So as you see, there are 3 numbers there, with the 10 being highlighted. As Drow levels up, so it gets to be a 2-star or a 3-star, that passive goes up as well. It's the same for all these abilities. Walrus Punch gets more powerful in Tusk now that he's a level 2. So since we were offered 2 hunters right away, I think it's pretty clear that we want to go into that hunter's warrior synergy. So speaking to gold as a resource, there are a few ways to make gold. You do get kind of a stipend each round of 5 gold that you get either way. You also get a single gold for winning. You can also gain gold through win streaks, where if you win a certain amount of rounds in a row, you start making more gold. And on top of that, you can also get extra gold for lose streaking, which is another strategy. The final way, and the least obvious way to gain gold, is through interest. Unfortunately, since we lost that round, I'm not going to be able to show that off this round. But we'll get there for this next round here. We don't want any of this stuff. Since we're lucky enough to know where we want to go this early, there's no need to just start taking anything if it doesn't fit what we want to do. The reason for that is, since now we're at 14 gold, we'll see every time you end a turn with over 10 gold, you're going to gain an extra gold in interest. It starts at 1 gold when you have 10. It goes up to 2 gold with 20, 3 gold with 30, 4 gold with 40, and finally 5 gold with 50. Once you get past 50, you no longer gain extra interest, so that's kind of where you want to start spending your money. Unfortunately, we're not winning here. Our board's not as strong as I imagined it would be. There's some folks with more 2-star units than we have, so they're gonna kind of kill us. Losing in this early game is not too bad, because as you see, we're not taking too much damage. Another resource, I guess a resource is the main focus of this video, is your health. And you want to kind of trade that for different things. So in our case, we're trading it for gold, because we're saving our gold instead of buying useless heroes or rolling. And we're saving that gold for later, for when it's going to make a bigger impact. We do want this Slardar. There's 2 of them, which is going to get us very close to a 2-star. But since we're at 20 gold, I don't want to buy that until the turn starts, so that we get that 2 gold interest. Now, I have a feeling that I have been making a mistake putting in the other hunter instead of the drow, and I'll show you why here in a second. And I am going to put this Slardar in for the tiny, because he's stronger right now. Well, those are some things we want.
Put me on the field and I'll do the rest.
we're going to have both now. But one of the benefits of having drow in there instead of the Wind Ranger is Drow, other than being a hunter, she's also a Heartless hero. Pudge, who's one of our warriors, is also a Heartless. So you see how these heroes having multiple tribes lets you kind of connect these different synergies together. So with the Heartless, our enemies are going to have less armor, so that means our damage dealers are going to do more damage, which is always good. But yeah, we don't have a super strong board, so we're going to continue losing here, which may actually be good for us. Right now, see, we have this gray aura around our name. That means we're on a lose streak. Once a round pops up here, you will see that being on a lose streak gains you gold just like being on a win streak does. Obviously, losing is a whole lot easier than winning most of the time. So that typically is something easy to gain gold. We're at 30, so we're not going to want to spend frivolously on this lichen before the round, especially since we're still in that lose streak. And we don't really want to win yet. We kind of want to wait till we're up to 50 gold, or can have a huge turn in power where we transition into a win streak before we start spending a lot of gold. One of the main things to keep in mind in this game that's not really obvious when you start out is that it's good to win streak. It's good to lose streak in the early game. What is not good to do is to do what these guys in the middle are doing, although it really depends on what you get. But really what you don't want to do is kind of win a game, then lose a game, then win a game and lose a game. Because then you're missing out on just free gold that you're getting from streaking, either from saving your money and lose streaking, or from spending your money and getting on a win streak. Alright, so here we do have some Savage units. We've got the Lycan who's Savage. We already have the Tusk that's 2-star out there that's a Savage. You generally do have some Savage units in the Warrior Hunter build. So that's something that we are going to want. So here, since it does generate a big change on our board and it doesn't spend us below our next interest mark, we are going to want to buy the Pudge here. That still keeps us above 30. And makes our board stronger, so hopefully we take less damage. We are still probably wanting to lose, which hopefully we do, although we are going against someone who is in a lose streak. But he should be able to do enough damage to us that we lose. It can sometimes be a little funny wanting to lose in this game, but it's just some of the bigger strategies. But we are going to win, which is unfortunate. Maybe we turn this into a win streak. Something we can definitely do. Now, one thing I could do is pick up these mages. You know what, I'll do it. I've got the board space. One of the other major strategies with warriors is warrior mage. So we could do that to keep our options open. Kunkka's really good. That is something we really want to see. I think we don't want to keep Tusk really late game. No, we do. You know, no, we're too far away to be doing this mage game. I guess we wait. We're a little slow in the draw. If I could have found 2 more gold to make there, I would have gotten the Kunkka and put him in probably for the Slardar. But we were most likely going to lose this anyway, so it's the right move there to be a little cautious with spending below the 40 before the round starts. Really the only thing we'd be trading is a little bit more health if maybe we killed an extra unit. But again, we're at 82 health right now.
I'll admit they're better than I thought.
We are fine. Really, you don't want to get below 50 early game. That's a good kind of area to shoot for. But we are doing just fine. We're probably going to want to level up here, especially if we find a third hunter. Which might be difficult. Yeah, we're not going to get to 50, so we do level up. We're going to take that other Kunkka, but we're going to wait on it. We're going to instead throw in the Lycan here. so that we get that buff from Tuskar. From Tusk. Sorry, not Tuskar. And the Savage buff, which is going to be an extra 10% attack damage. And that's going to be all fine. He's already got a Medusa, which is definitely something that we want for the Hunter build. But our warriors are definitely stronger at this point, so we may just win this. It's going to be close. Can we get over to her? What are we doing? Yeah, we're fine. Cool, cool, cool. And we want that Kunkka. Man, if we could get a 2-star Kunkka early game, that could really, really help us with our power. Really, we want to be trading that Lycan for a 3rd warrior like a Medusa. But we'll see what we get here. Well, that is the Drow. Is there a easy way for us to sell up right now? I guess the Tiny, though. Tiny is something that you do want late game, is it? No.
Let's go hunting.
Just take the Drow and the Wind Ranger.
Team.
And we chill. I mean, we're basically... There we're missing out on 1 gold. It's not a huge deal. Once we get our 3rd hunter, we're definitely going to want to change our positioning. But I think since the strength of our build right now is the warriors, we want everybody up front. Just because that's where we want the engagement of the battle to happen. So we're good. We're doing well. We stopped losing health. We're at a point where making gold from the streaks doesn't matter as much. Especially because we're going to be sitting at about 50 gold from here until the foreseeable future. So that's all good stuff. I've been loving this game. It's it kind of scratches that itch of the deck building games like Hearthstone and Slay the Spire that I've played a lot of, while also being pretty fast tempo and multiplayer, which is definitely a nice bonus. Nothing that we want in this shop. Obviously, we are looking for the hunters and the warriors. I'm going to roll once. Rolling is basically refreshing your options in the shop to try to find things that are more in line with what you want. We don't want any of this. The Troll Warlord is not where our damage is going to come from. He's really the branch between trolls and warriors. And we're going hunters and not trolls for our damage. So there's pretty much a couple main classes for the damage and the tankiness. For tankiness, it's going to be the warriors, which we have, as well as knights. And a little bit of the mechs. The mechs have a regen ability as their tribal ability. So they can kind of act as a front line as well. Your damage dealers are going to be mages, hunters, and trolls. And we get the hunter bonus here, which is incredible. We are already heavily incentivized to stick with our hunter plan. And that just kind of seals the deal for us. We're going to want to go 3 hunters and warriors. And just kind of melt opposing teams with our damage. Well, that is a warrior that we want. He is probably better than the Wind Ranger right now. We'll see. Typically, you don't want to go for a 3-star Slardar, because one of the hunters that you're going for late game... Where's hunters? Is this Tide Hunter, and he already gives you the scaled bonus along with Medusa. So Slardar is a guy that's pretty good early to mid game, but you really kind of want to transition out of late game because he stops giving you that scaled bonus, which is a magic resistance buff to help against any mages you're fighting. So we pass. That's why we pass on this extra Slardar. Basically a roundabout way of saying that. We are going to want to level up probably this turn. It's not a huge investment. For every 5 gold, you get 4 experience points. So that is something we're going to want to do, and we're going to put that hunter back. No, we put a... Do we have another... Yeah, we've got the tiny. Tiny gives us another basically 5 more armor for all of our warriors.
You made the right call.
He is very weak as a 1-star, but basically you can think of it as him buffing 5 of our other guys, so that kind of ups his value a bit for us. It comes down to this buffed up Luna against our Pudge, and it's going to be a close one. The Luna has the buff from the mechs that's giving her some regen, but yeah, the Pudge is just too beefy. It's not going to get through him. So that is a nice win for us, and we are now win streaking. You can see we transitioned out of that loss streak into a win streak, and that's going to be a nice replacement for our Tiny.
Where I walk,
is this Doom.
follows.
And the Beastmaster would have been great if we had him early, but he's not going to do too much for us this late in the game. We're going to roll. We really, we're begging to find a Medusa here. But we got some really strong warriors. We got the Drow that's kind of buffing up everybody around her to deal more damage, which helps. We've got the Heartless bonus, which is helping against these warriors, which I don't believe my enemy has right now. Oh, he does. But clearly, our board is stronger. The Savage bonus also helps to get a little bit more damage. That Doom was huge, which is why I was so excited to see him. I don't think we really care about the Tusk. I think he is taking up board space.
Smart choice.
So we go for them, and we are going to be rolling for our 3rd hunter, which is the Sniper for now. We are going to want that Pudge. What can we give up for him? We're pretty far away from him. So I don't think we sacrifice our board space yet. We are we're really close to upgrades on a few different things. The Kunkka, we got 1 on the board, 1 on the bench. The Doom, we got 1 on the board, 1 on the bench. Our second 2-star Drow, we've got 2 on the bench, as well as this Wind Ranger. So we are really looking for those things to clear up some space. There's one. There's the Drow.
They're
And
not
there's the
ready
Wind
to
Ranger.
deal with me.
There's another Sniper. And one more roll. One more roll. I guess we take a Tiny. We are going to want to level up next round. I don't know if we should have spent that much gold. We are going to definitely be dipping down below 50. So we get up to 4, so that's 20 experience that we need. 20 divided by 5 is 4, so we need to hit the button 4 times. That's going to be 20 gold. And we are not going to get 20 gold here. We're going to get 10. 5 just for the round and 5 for the interest. I guess Brooch of the Aggressor. The Savage isn't going to be sticking around for very long, I don't think. So we take that and we put that on Kunkka. And we put him kind of right in there. Hopefully he gets focused a bit more. We do need to level up. It gives us a better chance to find our Medusa, as well as a chance to put in some damage here. We need one more spot on the board to get our 3 hunters and 6 warriors that currently our resources are dictating that we do.
Ready to fight.
Obviously we found more warriors than hunters so far in this game. So we're really relying on those warriors to handle us as we try to get our space for a 3rd hunter. If we find that 3rd sniper, then we're probably giving up the warrior buff, probably taking the Lycan out for him. And that might be better. I mean, we're doing fine, obviously. We have a huge win streak right now. The best win streak in the game. That is tough. I think we're selling out of this Lycan. I don't think we're finding him again. So we sell there. With the hunters, you're gonna want to do kind of this formation here. This lets them all kind of focus a single target as best they can. It also lets the drow buff both of them since they are all standing together. And we're going to be just fine.
Good
Pick up the Wind
choice.
Ranger. 3-star Wind Ranger could be very strong for us. And we're kind of flirting with that 50 gold. We're not going to get it this round, but it didn't hurt us too bad to level up there, which is always great when you can trade a resource and not just kind of blow your whole savings on it. There's the Medusa. I think that means we are out of the sniper. We buy her, stick her in. That gives us a very strong hunter in the back. We could have gotten that. That's okay. As well as the scaled bonus now from the Slardar and the Medusa, which can help against if there's anybody going mages, which doesn't look like anybody is. So this guy is going way more hunter, so he's dealing a lot more damage, but we are taking a whole lot more damage. So once we get past their initial push in these head-to-heads, we should be fine. We really want one more board space so that we can slot in this tiny and get back to our 6 warriors. But I mean, that's putting way too much gold in a level up. It is something to keep in mind though, so possibly we are okay with not re-rolling here as we try to build up our gold stores again. And that is one reason to do it.
Someone wants to win, don't they?
That's a pretty big power spike for us, getting that level 2 Kunkka. So I think we're okay with not aggressively rolling here to try to get like a 3-star Medusa or the Wind Ranger. You also have to look when you're thinking about re-rolling. You have to think about, is the hero that I'm hoping to find actually going to affect my board? So the things that we're trying to find here are the Drow, obviously, and the Wind Ranger, the Tiny, and the Doom. The Drow, we have a 2-star. We've got 2 2-stars and a 1-star. So that means if we get 2 more Drows, then we can upgrade the 2-star on the board. So that is fairly close. This Wind Ranger, we've got 2-star and 2 1-stars, so that's going to be a few more until we can actually upgrade there. But that Tiny is big for us, as is that Medusa. One thing I like to do, since it doesn't really affect too much, if I'm getting ready to level soon, I like to spend down to 50, so I can kind of see how much more. So I would need to hit the button 3 more times, which would be 15 gold. And especially since we're going into a creep fight here, where we're going to be just fine, so we don't need a power spike. You don't want to get below your 50 for the interest in this round. But since I'm not sure if we get the win streak gold here. But we are definitely going to level up next turn. We want to get that 6th warrior in. That moon shard is going to be incredible on this Medusa. So no, we don't get the win streak gold, which I guess makes sense. So we are going to do that, and I am going to put in this tiny. That is going to give us our warrior buff back. I think at this point we give up on a 3-star Wind Ranger. I mean, how far? I guess it's 1 gold.
They're our prey.
The reason I would do that is to get up to the 50 gold. So really, I'd be trading the possibility of getting a 3-star Wind Ranger for 1 gold. Which doesn't make too much sense. Oof. And yeah, I mean, we've got a very strong build going on. We've got a very good chance to win here. So, especially with our economy looking so good, like, we're not in a situation where we have to spend all of our money just to stay alive, like we may be if we had dipped too low, or if we took too long to figure out what we wanted. And that's a Tide Hunter. We take him, obviously. I'm just thinking whether we put him in for the Medusa right now, because the Medusa is going to be awesome when we get her to level 2, but right now, not so much.
They actually think they're gonna beat us?
I do want to get to level 10 so that I can get just kind of a multi-purpose guy in there. Yeah, that Wind Ranger is doing a lot of work for us. Oh, I really want that tiny. I think we're done with these Wind Rangers. I mean, we may be getting rid of her altogether once we have this Tide Hunter and the Medusa as our other 2. Alright, so we've got a couple different outs that we're looking for. Neither of those is one. That is definitely one. And we put her back in, because now she is stronger than the Tide Hunter. And that is very nice. So this Medusa has an item that increases her attack speed, and she also has a multi-shot. So between the Drow increasing her attack speed, the item increasing her attack speed, and the multi-shot, she is just dealing a ridiculous amount of damage. And that is most definitely what we want to see in this build. So yeah, this is kind of the ideal, and we're still have the ability to improve our board by just getting 1 more Doom, 2 more Drows to get a 3-star, another Tide Hunter. I think we're sitting comfortable enough here that we want to start saving some money for another level up to get to level 10. Because once we get to 10, I don't think there's any way for us to lose this. These assassins, could be rough on our back line here. Yeah, that's going to destroy kind of most of our damage. Although, they then have to get through all of these warriors, which he very well might do. Yeah, I might have to reposition just because of this guy, because he's got such a strong board. Unfortunately, that is our win streak gone. It was going to happen eventually. We haven't faced him yet. We are getting very close to leveling up. And this is a round against creeps, so we don't have to invest in this round. That's why I really wanted to avoid trying to roll last round, because I knew this creep round was coming up, which kind of just gives us a free round to build up some gold. And I was not expecting to get blown up so much by those assassins. So get a little unlucky with our matchup, but that's okay. I mean, we're still in first. We still have a very strong and succinct composition. This Heartless is going to be very helpful for us. It would have been nice to also get the humans count as Heartless item, so that my Kunkka, among other warriors, could assist with that. Yeah, we level up here. We throw in the Tide Hunter. We take the tusks. And we get our... So, yes, we spent a lot of gold there, but we also made our board a hell of a lot stronger. We put in another strong hunter, and we got one of our strongest warriors to level 2. So that was a big turn for us, and that's just gonna push us even closer to a win here.
There's no one we fear.
That feels real good. And we're still looking for that third Tide Hunter. That may be a nail in the coffin, if we can find him. We are very close to the 50, but I don't think we really worry about that too much right now. I think we're too far away from the Wind Ranger to really think we're going there. We don't spend below 40, but we do take this Kunkka in just the far off possibility that we ever get a 3-star Kunkka. I think we need to have that option. So we've got very similar comps here. He went with the sniper, I think, instead of the Wind Ranger. Oh, he did. He's going for a lot of hunters and not the warriors, so that's why he kind of crumbled to our damage faster. We've got very dense damage with our hunters back here, just kind of going off. Being protected by our warriors. I mean, we're close. I mean, we're way too far away from that pudge, right? I guess it doesn't matter. We're not rolling anymore. It may yeah, because I was gonna say it may be the time to start repositioning for these assassins, because this is gonna be real rough on us. Although this Tide Hunter can kind of bully. It's gonna be close. It's really nice having this 2-star Doom. Yeah, this 2-star Doom is kind of what keeps us in the game against those assassins. I think I do move some of my guys over here though, just to keep... Oh gosh, That's exactly what we were looking for, right? So I put this pudge back here, and I kind of move everybody back a little bit. Yeah, it keeps our warriors from engaging right away, but it's just some insurance against those assassins, and that's really what I'm afraid of at this point. I think we have enough damage to melt through any of these other comps, like yeah, his kind of 3 warriors thing going on here. So we just want to protect against those assassins. That's real close to the tiny. We're not going to get a 3-star Medusa. Someone else already has a Medusa, and she's a tier 4 unit, so that's going to be hard to get. I think we're just rolling to close this out, really. An Enigma is interesting. It's just a very strong unit to put on the field. But I think we pass that up. No, we take it. Again, it's not affecting our interest to have that on our bench. We've got the bench space. If there's a strong hero that you're interested in, and it's not going to affect those other resources, you might as well take them. So yeah, we are so far ahead here. It's probably going to be over in a couple rounds. So I don't think there's any mages, so we don't take the Black King bar. We take the Daedalus for more damage, and we put that on the Wind Ranger. Yeah, I think we are rolling here just to find that little bit extra that's gonna close out this game. I mean, that's a dream, right?
Let's prove we're the best.
We're fine there, and we're beating him. Oof. Yeah, we're fine. So that was the assassin team that we just beat, and we're on the win streak again. That's just gonna give us more gold. We're gonna prevent all these guys from win streaking, and we're just gonna coast into this end here. Dear Lord. I have an extra hunter. I don't think losing my damage is good enough to put another Kunkka in there. So I just keep rolling to find that closing out effect, which is going to be either another Drow, another Tiny. Both of those are things that can help close this out. Now I say that, but my opponents are getting stronger. So that is another reason, although their economies are just in the dumps. So I don't expect them to be able to keep up much longer. Yep, and 2 of them do drop out. Leno is the one that I was not going against, so that's why he's still around. Yeah, this just came together so well for us. It's everything that we really wanted. So we just got really fortunate that the build we wanted from the beginning was what was given to us. So I'm basically just playing my odds here on who I'm actually going to find. Oh man, we are so close to that Drow. We're just so close to a couple different things here. I think the Drow would be the biggest improvement. There she is. If we were to lose this round, which I think we're going to be okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to lose this. It's going to if he fends off my army, which he did, it's going to give us a chance to show that this drow is going to be important. So yeah, he's got a couple big things, including that Enigma. As I said earlier, that is a very strong hero that we were just thinking of taking just to slap in. So I've got way more economy than him, so I can afford to roll here. I'm looking for this tiny. I'm looking for 2 more tusks. Anything that can kind of just give me a bit more power. We might also want to think about rearranging our troops. Probably want to get this Doom next to the Enigma so that it stops his ability from going off. Although, yeah, I think this drow upgrade is going to give us the damage to push through here. Not only is she doing more damage herself, but her passive went up to a 30% bonus attack speed, which on our hunters is going to be big. And there is a 3-star tiny, which I am going to put out. As I said, I'm going to, now that we're not so worried about the assassins, I think we put disruptive stuff on the front lines just to prevent those hunters from getting deeper into our board there. And I think we're going to be real happy to do that.
I will tear the heavens asunder.
I take the Enigma. Since I know my opponent has an Enigma, I want to prevent him from getting a 2-star Enigma. And all these heroes are pulled from the same pool. So if you have the opportunity to pick something that he wants, or your opponents want, then you definitely want to take that off the board so they don't have that opportunity. And he doesn't have any magic, I don't believe, unless the Enigma's ability counts. No, but I think that's pure damage. So we take the Moon Shard as just some more damage. Clearly the drow is doing a lot of damage for us, so we put that on her. And we just continue to roll to find that tusk, or maybe an Enigma for ourselves. I don't think I go any deeper. I might have spent too much gold as is. Although I am just trying to find, like, he's at 1 health, right? So we just need to find something that beats him on his board. And this rearranging of heroes is probably what's going to do it. Yep. So I had rearranged my heroes to protect against the assassins, which was a poor arrangement against his build there. So I was a little slow on the draw to find the right alignment there, but we did it. And we level up to Lieutenant level 2, getting even closer to Big Boss. That was a great video. I definitely had a lot of fun there. Obviously, it's always fun to win. But this is going to be our ending team, and this is a pretty basic comp. If you're looking for something, just if you wanted to try to force a build, just to kind of get used to the game, this is something that's pretty easy to build towards. You get 6 warriors. Any of those early game warriors that you can find that you can build towards. You get the Slardar and the Pudge for some early to mid game synergies with the Drow and the Medusa for the Heartless and the Scaled. And you just end up with your Drow, your Medusa, your Wind Ranger, or the Sniper, depending what you find early, as well as a Tide Hunter late game, just to kind of lock in some frontline damage. And you just ride the damage soaking ability of the warriors and the damage dealing ability of the hunters until hopefully you get an outcome like this. But yeah, that was very fun. Thank you for watching. I'm going to be playing some more of this tonight, but you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll catch you next time.